Hey, let's go over how to fix a few things on my car right here. Does your lock steering wheel do this? It doesn't have the key in it, so the steering wheel column lock is on, as you can see, but see how that kind of shifts the whole thing? I don't think that's right. There's probably two mounting bolts somewhere around here, and they're probably loose, so I'm gonna go over how to fix that. And of course, with the recurring project here, the gauge pods, where are they? They're not there, so obviously this didn't work out and they all fell off. Once again, like before, there are a bunch of holes under here and they all have a Phillips head screw in there. I'm gonna take this cover off so I can see what's going on underneath. It comes apart really easily. There we go. That's the bottom piece. That's the top piece. Interesting. It's the combination switch that moves, not the steering column. What's up with that? Alright, I took the 17 mil nut off. This should just wiggle off like it did before. Oh, there we go. I guess now we're getting a closer look at the combo switch because I got to take it off to see what the hell's going on back there. People typically break these. These are thin, brittle, old plastic. I'll be nice. So there's 3 Phillips head screws, one right here, and one right there. Take them out. I do have a new one, but nothing's really wrong with mine other than it looks a little white right here, so I'm gonna keep this for now just in case I ever break it. Let's get this guy out. Come on. Oh, the wiring. The wire, right? Is it the wire? To remove this from the car, you'll actually have to unplug it on the under the dash there, and then you can take the whole thing out. I didn't do that, so I can only pull it out so far. There's nothing I can do about this. Well, I guess this was a waste of time. So, looking at this here, this is the ignition lock. Goes in there, it does the steering column lock somehow. I don't really know how this works, but it's mounted to the shaft by this plate up here. If you look up there, they're like some kind of rivet nuts or something. There's nothing for me to turn. The steering column isn't loose. It's this lock assembly that's kind of clamped onto the shaft that moves, and there's nothing I can tighten. At least nothing that I know of. I don't know if that will get any tighter there, if it's possible, but I guess this isn't a big deal. Nothing's actually broken. This is what a new one looks like. The light's pretty bright, so it's less faded. The grease is still new. You can see how all the white stuff isn't there on there. The letters are perfect and not rubbed off. But for now, I'm gonna hang on to this. I don't see a need to switch this yet until I probably break it one day. So now, I'm just gonna screw this back into the steering column. On the back of my steering wheel, you could probably see that ring that's all the way around that's been scratched up, and that's probably what's making that scraping noise. I think this goop that's on this contact here shouldn't be there. I don't know. The new one didn't have any goop there. I'm gonna try to clean off that goop. Then I might lubricate this with some dielectric grease or something, because that's a metal contact, probably for the horn. Got some of this silicone paste, it's dielectric grease, so I'm gonna put some on that, and theoretically it'll give me some protection here, theoretically. Just gonna put a little bit all the way around. Gotta make sure my wheel goes back on straight, because that's gonna bother me otherwise. Still makes that little scratching noise. I stuck my head in the footwell here, and I definitely heard that the squeaking noise is coming from the back over there. Probably where the shaft goes through the rubber boot, and it just sounds like a little squeaking noise. It's kind of annoying, but one thing at a time. Let's fix this first. Make sure my steering wheel is straight. Pop the button out. Put this nut back in. Almost got you, Mark. Look at the steering wheel and my front wheel at the same time. Turn both your eyeballs like this so you can look outwards, but look at how little input it takes to move this wheel. Like, there's no delay. The steering box is excellent. Like, you just that little nudge right here. What is this, like 1 to 2 degrees, maybe 3? And that wheel is already wiggling to clearly visibly show that the wheel's gonna go that way. There's a boot where the steering column goes through the firewall or the footwell, whatever. I hit that with a bit of silicone spray and the squeak is gone. Just kind of working it in there. Looks good. Doesn't smell good, but looks good. It smells horrendous. I got a little thing in the mail here. Well, a really tall thing in the mail. So I wanted to upgrade the lights in here a little bit. Those are the only lights I have, 2 per side, so 2 here, 2 on the other side, set up the same way. Can't really see it, but those are 14,000 lumens each. They're pretty good on the edges, but if you ever pull the door up, that one's blocked, same with this side. So it gets kind of dark in here, especially kind of in the middle. Over here, this is perfectly fine, but if you have anything kind of like that, there's not much light in there. And that's why I do that for lighting for stuff. I was thinking I got these long LED lights and I forgot what I got. And I got this whole package. It looks like 1, 2, I got 6 pieces. I got 6 pieces of this 8-foot long stuff. And I'm gonna figure out where this goes. And you know I want to kind of hang one in between the 2 rails, but anywhere else, I have no idea yet. They give you a bunch of wiring. This is for hardwiring it to a switch. This is just for an outlet plug. This is for linking them together so you can have like a daisy chain of these lights. That's pretty cool. So let's plug it in and see what I actually got. Ooh. Well, that's nice. So it lights up the whole bar. Look at that. That's cool. I think I really like this so far. Off. On. This is nice. Here it is installed. It's pretty nice over here now. It's really bright, and I didn't really have much issues with lighting here before, but this is really nice. I should have had this a long time ago. I don't have a switch for this right now. I just ordered it on Amazon. I got one of those wise ones so I could just kind of remotely control it. But for right now, I'm gonna have to climb up here and turn it off. I can show you the difference. Darkness. Brightness. All right. A recap from before, I put the mushroom head 3M lock, like dual lock, I believe they call it. It's like the stuff on your fast pass, easy pass thing. I put an excess amount of this stuff on here. I put a bunch of it on the pillar. It kind of worked. It wasn't that great, but it was better than what I had before. I tried removing the A-pillar trim because it has this little texture on it, and I wanted to have this kind of stick directly onto the metal of the A-pillar. Then the real issue where the pods were actually made to conform to the pillar trim, like that, and not the A-pillar, like the metal frame itself, because there was a lot of like space in between where this edge had to meet the side of the pillar. That this used to fill in. Then I had this genius idea where I would get this extra thick silicone tape and just double it up. Just stack it on top and just try all kinds of stuff. In the winter time, that was actually okay. And actually, even right now, that silicone tape is really sturdy and it's really stuck on where it needs to be. The problem was actually the dual lock stuff. And I don't know, like, this adhesive is really sticky, but it doesn't stick very well to this. So I'm screwed. I was driving yesterday. It was probably in like the mid 70s, so obviously a little bit hotter with the cabin temperatures with the sun. And this just went, I hit a little pothole and just boom. And I had my son with me, and he's a little 2-year-old, so he was just like, uh-oh, uh-oh. I appreciate it as a little concern, but there's nothing we could do about it. So I'm gonna take these off because look how, like, that is really good. I'm probably asking too much of the little nubs because they're probably just barely hanging on like odd angles like this where it's twisted. So this is definitely not the solution. So what might the solution be? Magnets. I found a bunch of these magnets I had left over, and I decided, hey, this stuff is like paper thin. It's like cheap cardboard. It's not cardboard, but it's as thick as cheap cardboard. So I'm wondering if one of these rare earth magnets can actually just stick very well through. Ah, look at that. Yeah, with a few of these, that'll hold. So I think. All right, I'm using autometer gauges. These are the stack, what do you call those? Stepper motor gauges. I called them, I asked them, hey, do magnets affect or damage these? And they said no, so let's see how this goes. This is gonna go, oh yeah, that might work. Okay. Maybe I should double up some magnets. So this edge will have the magnet right there, and that will just sit right there on top of it. That looks good. Pretty flush too. I mean, it's as flush as this will get. I'm still going after the whole no permanent modification thing after all this effort. Is it worth it? I don't know. This stuff, it didn't really ever conform to the edge or the little curve of this bend here. So that didn't help, but that just comes right off of the silicone tape. The silicone tape is really well adhered to the metal. Like, this takes quite a bit of rolling effort for me to just roll it off. Get to peel all this off. Ow. Yeah, you can see how well adhered that stuff is. All right, so I know this is steel. The magnet will adhere to this no problem. So I can line a bunch of magnets up this pillar, I guess. Ooh, that's really good. This might be my best plan yet. Gotta make sure that they're all the right polarity so they won't try to fight each other like this when I try to put them on. Okay, so this is the wrong way. That's the right way. Okay. So I gotta kind of like make sets of these to line them up. I got my trim back in. It's filling up the pillar like it should, so it's a nice finished look. I gotta put the plugs back in. However, the magnet actually sticks pretty well on the outside, but the inside, you know, honestly, this might be enough. Because the magnet's a lot more consistent, and it can kind of adhere even if it's trying to fall off, more so than the Velcro. Because the Velcro is either on or off. This, there's a maybe in between. See? And then for good measure, I can always add an extra magnet behind on the inside, and that way, you know, super magnet. I cut a strip of that magic silicone tape in half, and I just stuck it on both edges of this and put magnets on it. Just checking my work here. There's no magnets behind this right now, it's just the pillar. And ho 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 ho. Okay. Whoa. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let go. Okay. Ooh. I'm very happy with the performance here. It could be a little bit better, so I think if I put magnets behind it, that will solve my problem. Okay, so that one goes like that. And the magnet will go... I have to like keep double checking that it's going in the right spot. Oh my god. Oh. Yo. Alright. Mission accomplished. That's as good as semi-permanent right there. This looks perfect. The way I expected it to look when I first got it. Wow. There we go. Oh, look at that. All right. I don't know why I didn't think of this to begin with, but look at that. This is fantastic. Well, let's get this thing installed now.